So I thought we could start by trying to do this a bit out of order today. Not that much out of order. Almost everything else is in the same position. But yeah, I am not going to match yesterday's activity level at all today. I'm not even going to come close. I'm less tired today than I was yesterday, but again, I have less of a will to actually do things today. Like I've walked around, I've gone shopping today, I've cleaned up a bit, but I can't get myself, inspired to just do some basic sit-ups and push-ups or basic exercises. I no longer have a fever. Most of the symptoms I was experiencing from being sick are gone. I probably still am technically sick, but vitals are starting to improve overall. So I'm expecting, I don't know, maybe I should get some energy back soon. I don't know. Let's just take a look at what's been going on. See, normally my at-rest heart rate, or at least beats per minute here, would be somewhere between 67 to 71. For the past week and a half, it's been in the upper 70s and even 80s here. This is at rest. I mean, right now I'm even looking at the Fitbit on my arm, and it's showing me I'm at 94 right now, just sitting here. But normally I'm not like this, so yeah, my body is still actually fighting right now. Even though I myself am actually starting to feel better. And even with the mask and extra precautions, I did one stupid thing with going out to that party the other week. And then an even dumber thing happened where our roommate pretty much went out bowling. Even though everybody wore masks, when they were doing so. I got sick 2 weeks after, and it's just all of my symptoms didn't necessarily match up with COVID, but I probably should have gone to Walgreens to get a quick test to be sure. To be safe, I shouldn't have just chicken soups and sat it out, basically is what I've done here. Next time I will be much more cautious. Okay, but this is the result of what I ate last night. It's not so bad. Stayed mostly within the limit for calories and protein. Net carbs and fat were pretty close, almost to the point where I had to estimate a couple of things, so I may have actually stayed within the limits for those, but I'm not perfectly sure. I hate having to guess, but guesstimating and going a little over is better than going under and thinking you have more allowance and then gorging more. So I started yesterday off snacking. I just took a few of Nadine's taquitos that she saw there. Grabbed a bunch of, biltong and cheese while I was out walking around downtown for a bit, taking care of some business. And and as she said, I'm still in love with my seltzer. Seltzer water, lemon pop, anything I make with it, I'm in love with it. Kind of been boring with it lately. I'm not really planning, I'm hoping I can come up with something else to play with it, but I don't really hate what I got now, what I do now. Now this is what I ended the night with, and it's pizza and wings. And basically I got a deep dish pizza, and I ate 2 of the slices and 4 out of 8 of the seasoned wings. I gave 8 in the other 4 of those wings. We basically split them. But yeah, I was actually surprised I was actually able to keep to just eating 2 slices of pizza last night. Normally that is a tough thing for me to deal with, but we were out, we were coming back from maintenance speech therapy. Nobody felt like cooking, so we just stopped and got the pizza. Not the most nutritious and most healthy meal, but if you limit yourself a bit, it's not so bad. And you see there is limited, at least for me, it's limited with just 2 slices. All the other things you see there, mushrooms, ground beef, bell peppers, onions, I had to add that separately since that wasn't part of the app, so I just took a guess at how much that was as well. So that was part of why I think this was off, at least as far as some of the carb numbers. And more water, plenty more water. And despite what I ate yesterday, I stayed mostly within the limits, and I was surprised that I went down in weight even more. It's like, I have not been at 333 in over a decade. So, and I know I said over a decade before, but that was when I was at 335 a few weeks ago. So technically I'm below that 335 now. I'm at 333.7 pounds. So broken another decade record. And my blood pressure is still ridiculously high right now, but it is at least trending back downwards. And that is exactly what I wanted. I'm hoping I can get to rest soon. I'm going to take in a lot more tea today. And and I forgot to mark the tea that I had yesterday. I didn't sweeten it, so it's pretty much just leaf water, maybe 2 or 3 calories off, but don't sue me, it's fine. I was actually the most surprised that my ketones went up. My 0.6 to an even 3 parts, per million. Like, oh wow, you're in the early stages of ketosis. Like, okay. And then they always give you the next goal to go towards. Proper ketosis begins at 5 parts per minute. Like, okay, my body really is burning fat. I've been belching a lot more, and this is something that happens when you start to burn fat for energy. You actually start to belch out CO2 more. And you're not necessarily going to fart much more than you would otherwise, but at least from what I've been seeing, I do burp a lot more when my body starts to make the switch, and it was pretty bad yesterday. But I just thought it was something that I ate. I was like, oh, even though I cut down on the meat, it's just sitting in my stomach, spoiling, not moving. I knew I was gonna lose my, good luck streak, but nope. Body's like, okay, we're just gonna throw more fat in the urn, okay. So I'm actually happy about that. Every time I say hopefully it's gonna go up more tomorrow, it doesn't. And even though I know what I'm doing and what I've done, I'm just going to say this streak is great, and I'm going to leave it at that. Okay, so that's pretty much it. We're going to go back to the regular formats by the end of the week. Right now, I am just selling a bunch of stuff I don't need anymore. Pretty much just trying to declutter, de-junk my life. So instead of just throwing things away or asking, hey, who can I give this to? I'm going to sell everything I possibly can that I don't need before giving things away and tossing them out. I also get a bit of money. And then I'm making a few side grades, like I'm selling my desktop and all the parts in it. And technically any laptop I switch over to is going to be weaker on the graphics side, but the processors would be better. And based on the games that I play and the work that I do, I'm not going to take too much of a hard, hit, too much of an impact on my workloads. I mean, I use a Vega 56 on my desktop. There's almost nothing in the laptop world within my budget that's going to match it, but I don't need that much power. I do need a lot more versatility and movement though. But that's it, folks. Thank you all. God bless you. Have a great day.